What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. This video is going to be to clarify some mistake that I made and to also expound on it. So, yesterday I did a video and I talked about how the family received over $600,000 and yet Karmelo Anthony was represented by a public defender. Several people got in the comments and corrected me and told me that the lead counsel, the attorney that represented the family or represented Karmelo Anthony, was not a public defender. He was a private attorney. So I looked into it, and it turns out, I have my notes here, Mike Howard became lead counsel, replacing Billy Clark and Kim Cole. Billy Clark and Kim Cole were part of the original team when Karmelo first got arrested. They were replaced by Mike Howard. Mike Howard apparently, allegedly, started out as a public defender, which is nothing new. A lot of law students, once they graduate, they either get a job with a family, they're one of their family's firms, or maybe they have other firms that are interested. But a lot of them do start at the public defender's office or the district attorney's office. Doesn't make them bad attorneys. That's just where they get their start. They make their bones and then they branch out into the private sector. So, before I get any further, I want to say this as well. Those of you that remember. When this case initially occurred, I did several videos on it. And then I saw how many people had already made up their mind, not based on the facts of the case, but based off of the emotions in their heart. And because of that, it just completely turned me off to the topic. I didn't look into it at all anymore. I had planned on following the case the whole way through, but again, because of the emotions involved, I decided it's just not worth it. I got back interested when I saw that, again, people were up in arms, not based on the facts of the case, but based off the emotions in their heart. And that's what my message has been in the 3 videos. This will be the 3rd video since the verdict and since the conviction, the sentencing, and all that, right? Now, the fact that Mike Howard wasn't a public defender and is a seasoned attorney, that hurts the argument that Karmelo Anthony got ineffective assistance of counsel, which would be appealable. You know, people are talking about the appeal. Charleston White and others are talking about all the money they're going to donate for the appeal. And I don't think they understand the legal process. He's not entitled to an appeal just because people's feelings are hurt. He's not entitled to an appeal just because he doesn't like the sentence handed down. There has to be a legal basis, a legal argument that has to go before a judge in order for there to be an appeal. Prison is full of people that don't like their sentence. Didn't mean they were entitled to an appeal. And no good attorney is going to file a frivolous appeal because they can get in trouble. I understand the emotions. No, I don't. I'm not even going to say that. I understand the emotions of some people. Those directly related to Karmelo Anthony. I don't understand perfect strangers seeing this as anything other than what it was. Now, I heard it was 10. Now it was up to 15. It doesn't matter. But now it's up to 15 people asked Karmelo Anthony to leave that tent. And supposedly he said the same thing every time. Touch me and see what happens. I've seen the pictures of Carmelo Anthony holding an assault weapon, throwing up gang signs. Was he from a gang? I don't believe he was. But obviously, with those pictures and with a bunch of people saying that they asked him to leave and he kept saying the same thing, touch me and see what happens, there was something going on in Carmelo Anthony's heart and mind. If all of that is true, if what they testified to in court is true, if what the court accepted as truth is true, then Carmelo Anthony had his mind made up that day. I don't know if he was bullied, and I'm not saying by Austin or anyone else under that tent, but I don't know if something was going on where he felt he had to put a demo down, as we call it. He had to show people he wasn't a chump. Well, you did that, Carmelo. But when you do stuff like that, there's a lot of time that comes with it. And I don't think anybody understands, other than ex-convicts or current convicts, Carmelo Anthony got a hell of a deal. He went to trial on an unaliving, I'm going to just say it that way, and got sentenced to 35 years. To put that into perspective, when I was fighting my case, I got tired of sitting in the county jail. I told my attorney, hey, go tell the DA I'll sign for 30 years right now. 5 less than Carmelo. No hesitation whatsoever. Go tell the DA I'll take 30 right now. They rejected it. They wanted to put me away for the rest of my life. I wound up getting convicted of second-degree murder. Did 24 years on that. The fact that Carmelo Anthony got 35 years for, I think he would have got more here in California. And Texas don't play. However, he would have had better access on getting out earlier out here than over there. Carmelo Anthony is not getting out in 17 years. I don't know how much time he's going to do. But he made a decision that day that he was going to do whatever he did. And when I say whatever he did, I don't want to repeat it. We all know what happened. And if people want to get emotional, how about the fact that Austin died in his twin brother's arms? Why is that overlooked? Imagine how traumatic that is for Austin's twin brother. So I got it wrong that the lead counsel was not a public defender. But that also hurts the argument of ineffective assistance of counsel. I'm going to say that again. And it doesn't take away from the fact that the family went on vacations, got a new home, got a new car, got plastic surgery or whatever, some kind of cosmetic. I don't even know what you call it. Something cosmetic happened to somebody in the family. I don't see where even $500,000 came out of the family's pocket into their child's defense. Now, having been involved in a capital crimes case, I do know that the defense is allowed to petition the court. At least in California, they're allowed to petition the court to make sure that their defense is on par with what the prosecution is spending. If the prosecution is spending $1 million to prosecute the case, the defense can ask the court to help with costs when it comes to witnesses, specialists, stuff like that. Special experts, stuff like that. The reality is that attorney had nothing to work with in the case. All of the witnesses, everyone under the tent who were not just white, that were white, as well as African American students that were under that tent. And all of them basically said the same thing. He could have walked away. This didn't have to happen. He didn't belong there. He wasn't from that school. So hopefully this is the last video I have to do on this, because I think we'd all like to move on. I have a feeling there's going to be more videos later down the line, not far down the line, regarding Karmelo's incarceration. I'm sure there are people trying to line up interviews. In that sense, I feel sorry for him. I have zero remorse when it comes to what he chose to do, the decision he made that day. But since that day, over $600,000 were raised. None of that's probably going on his books to get packages and canteen. There are going to be people clamoring to do interviews with him, post that either to social media or try to get a network to pick it up for a documentary. How much of that will he see? Meanwhile, he's going to be sitting in one of the roughest prison systems that the United States has. And he's going to have to fend for himself. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.